Alright, it's your boy Benvolio. This is my first win on the ladder. I've been playing matchmaking games to try and climb the ladder, and so it's really competitive. I've been noticing it's not quite as when you it's the stakes seem higher because you want to climb in rank. I don't know what good climbing in rank in a video game is going to do you, but I don't know. It just feels like a bigger deal finally having a competitive victory because I guess the players on ladder are just a bit more serious and they're a bit more dedicated, and sometimes they're more cheesy, as you might have seen from my last video. But this time I'm playing against Uncle Shin, playing against Skaven, and it's I first ended up being my first victory in competitive, so it's pretty exciting. Yay. I mean, I guess I'm kind of spoiling it, but let's just see how this unfolds. So I'm starting over here on my right flank. I'm playing as Tomb Kings, of course, being led by my favorite lord, Queen Khalida, playing against Uncle Shin, as I said, playing against the Skaven. So let's just start over here on my far right flank. Let's put on the info. Tomb Scorpion here. So this is an monster with Vanguard deployment. For 1,000 gold, it's pretty effective and it can cause terror. So if you're playing against the Skaven, you kind of want to cause terror because they're to me it seems that they're pretty cowardly little rats. You know, they rout pretty easily. So this kind of causing routes is probably going to be good because it might cause a chain route, which will kind of cause his army to buckle. And it's also you can Vanguard deploy it, which means you can bring it in at a funny angle into his army, get right in the cookie jar with it, potentially if you play it well. But of course, if it gets surrounded, it's going to get ground down eventually, but it can do a lot of damage before that happens. So for 1,000 gold, it's a great unit. I think somebody called it the best Tomb Kings unit anyway, ever. But yeah, it is quite useful in that regard. I have my skeleton, horsemen, archers. I just like having these guys. I just like always having horse archers to ride around, annoy, harass, and just kind of force things out of position. Which is what they're useful for, just to kind of get things chasing them, and then you can bait things into, you can bait things out. You can kind of dictate things when you have the range and the speed on them a little bit better. So let's go to my center army way over here. Okay, well, not quite my center. So in my center, I've got my cavalry deployed in the middle, ready to split and kind of go in any direction I want. I got my Necropolis Knights. As per usual with my Tomb Kings, I always go with two groups of Necropolis Knights and Khalida. I just find they're a really great combo to have. You know, they're good for surgical precision strikes, and with that, a poison explosion, when deployed fairly well, can help you break again out of engagements that you wouldn't want to be stuck in. So it's Queen Khalida, Armored Duelist, Necropolis Knights, Armored and Shielded, Armor Piercing, and Poison Attacks. So they're just, I just like having them for precision cavalry strikes. I think they're quite effective in that regard. My main army here, I've got in the front 3 groups of Skeleton Warriors, I believe. 2 chevrons in each, just to enhance their stats a little bit, just to kind of hold the line, hold out a little longer, do a little bit more damage to his Skaven chaff, and hopefully win the day. So that's the main line. Then in the back, I've got 2 groups of Tomb Guard with halberds, one on the sides of, one on each flank of the main army, and then in the center I've got the Kepler Guard. Tomb Guard with their anti-infantry, armored, damage dealer, and they have regeneration. So they'll regenerate health when out of combat, which is pretty cool. And they got pretty funky little masks. Yeah, they got funky little, hard to see. Some of them have funky little masks, not all of them, but yeah, they got kind of black and green uniform there. Nice regiment around for me. Let's turn the, oh yeah, the tempo's, it's on. It doesn't, oh yeah. We're in slow motion. I thought it was paused for a second there. 2 groups of standard skeleton archers. And the Blessed Legion of F-Bomb. Always like having them around with their armor sundering. If I can get them firing onto armored units, that's great. They're very useful in that regard. And then, of course, my other group of Tomb Guard with halberds, and my Skeleton Horsemen Archers. And that's basically my army. And I've kind of deployed with a mind to surround him, get into, because with Skaven, he's going to bring something ranged. He's going to bring something with nasty range potential. Let's take a look at his army right now. And I'm going to want to envelop and get into that and sort out that ranged firepower as soon as I can. And he does indeed have some ranged firepower. He's got a group, he's got the Teeth Breakers, regiment around Rattling guns. So little Skavens with Gatling guns. Isn't that exciting? Armor piercing missiles, anti-infantry damage dealers. Nasty. Okay, what other ranged firepower has he got? He's got a Natty Bubo's sharp shooters. Yeah, so they are basically snipers, armor piercing missiles, damage dealer, good range. So basically sniper squads. Look at that little rat carrying the triangle and the other rat shooting. Yeah, they're nasty. So you're going to want to get them out of play immediately with my Necropolis Knights. He's got Lord Skrulk. Got a lot of nasty spells of disease and such, and he can summon groups of Skaven, which is also really annoying. And he's a decent melee combatant, and with that Plague Sensor, he's able to swing that around. He's also able to cast a lot of annoying spells, debuffs, etc., disease-oriented. So Khalid going to want to hunt him down eventually and finish him off, because she's going to have that Duelist trait, which is going to let her, I think, finish off Skrulk if she can isolate him. Over here, he's got another group. Rat Ogres. I guess we might as well take a look at them. He's got 4 groups of these, I believe. Monstrous Infantry, Armor Piercing, and with Frenzy. So they're nasty, nasty brutes. He's got another standard group of Rattling Gun weapons teams. So the Skaven Gatling Gun, firing the green bullets. So again, priority target. Want to get rid of those because those are the ones that are going to really rack up the damage. Them and the Rat Ogres. But otherwise, because the rest of his infantry is just chaff, just these Clan Rat Spears here. Shielded infantry, a bit annoying, but my Tomb Guard is going to be able to beat them up because they're just low tier infantry. Even my Skeleton Warriors with a couple of Chevrons might do decently against them. Another group of Clan Rat Spears. I think, yeah, 4 groups of Rat Ogres. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Clan Rat Spears. I don't know how many groups, but just a lot of chaff. But he also has the Council Guard here, which are Storm Vermin, which are an elite infantry unit. They are unbreakable, as far as I know. They don't break very easily. It doesn't say here that they're unbreakable, unless it's written down there, but it's annoying to... Huh? Guardian. Physical resistance. Scurry away. Strength in numbers. Unbreakable, yeah, so they are unbreakable, so they're going to fight to the bitter end, to the very last unit. The Teeth Breakers, as I already explored. Yeah, and then just the rest is just Skaven Slaver, Clan Rat Spears. Kind of low tier infantry, just meat shields basically, holding my troops in place so the weapons teams can fire into them. But looks like I'm already poking in with my skeleton archers, poking at these rat ogres. Gonna try and force the rattling guns out of position and bait them into my scorpion, because my scorpion's just gonna have lots of fun with those basically defenseless in the face of the Tomb Scorpion rattling guns team. So that's gonna be an ideal engagement I want to bait him into. So let's put things into real time and see how I do this. So I'm splitting up my cavalry. The Necropolis Knight's gonna go around, flank his army, surround him. As I charge in with the main infantry line, basically I want to close with him on all possible sides. So the cavalry's gonna try and sneak around, and he doesn't really have any fast movers to counter that. He maybe could have used, I think, Night Runners or something like that to counter cavalry because they're fast moving. But as it is, he doesn't have any fast movers, and so I can really abuse him for that. And poke away at him with the skeleton horse archers, and then pull away when he tries to bring those weapons teams to bear. So I'm still poking away, I believe, at the pulling in, pulling out, coming back in, coming out. No dirty references, please. Yeah, so swinging around with the Necropolis Knights, poking in with the Skeleton Horseman Archers, just vulnerable units on the side, trying to annoy him, bait him out, taking some cheap shots at the Rattling Gun weapons team. If I can sink a couple models, that'll be great. But the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters are able to get some shots into my Horse Archers. Not good. Gonna want to pull those back then for that very reason. Taking a few shots as they go. They got that nice Parthian shot. Firewall moving, so the Natty Bubos. Looks like there's a bit of arc on their shot, and ow, ow, ow. So not going to want to stay in there because they will grind me down. Necropolis Knights, so I know my target. I can't see them at that point because they're hidden by the rise, but I know that Natty Bubos are going to be a primary for my Necropolis Knights and for Khalida as I circle around. Continue to circle around this group of Necropolis Knights, circling around his other flank as he's going to be forced to relocate his resources to the front because my infantry is charging in. Archers hanging back a little bit, but they will be brought in a timely fashion. Yeah, they're even moving now. So we go. So we're going to close with this side, and he's going to have to delegate his resources, and when he does, that's going to open up the cookie jar a little for me to get in there with the Necropolis Knights and Horse Archers, etc. And even still poking in with the Horse Archers, trying to be as annoying as possible, dividing his attention in as many places as I can is going to be the name of the game here, and forcing him to expose his ranged units, which is good. Yes, I'm loving this right now. So here we go. Mission success to some degree. The Rattling Guns have pulled out of position. He's going to see me coming in. He's going to try, I think, and hold me up. And he's relatively successful, and it's really freaking annoying. So this is exactly what I want. He's firing at the Skeleton Horseman Archers, so annoyed at them. Meanwhile, I'm able to finally get I'm going for the gold with the Tomb Scorpion now, charging in the Tomb Scorpion into that Rattling Gun weapons team. The Necropolis Knights charging at the other ones. This is good, tying them up, but it looks like he's going to clog up. Ah! Why do you stop on like one unit? But I noticed that quick enough, and I'm like, screw you. I am not letting that happen. Gonna charge into those Rattling Guns weapons team. Is that the regiment renown? Yeah, the Teeth Breakers. Gonna chunk them off. If I can knock down a couple models, that'll be good, but I want to get out, don't want to get stuck in or get surrounded with them because they will not last. This other group of Necropolis Knights charged into a group of spears just because they got into block. But another, oh, look at that, Natty Boobos exposed and coming with the Necropolis Knights, and this is how we do it. This is how we do it. There's been a spell cast by Krulk, though. Skrulk, excuse me. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on. There's some buffs and stuff going on, but it's total chaos. Natty Boobos basically got sandwiched very nicely by those two groups. The Tomb Scorpion, what are you doing, Tomb Scorpion? He's still going at them. So that's good. So I'm hitting off all the right targets, but that Rattling Gun weapons team is able to fire in. However, that's freeing up the Horse Archers to fire at them using their last arrows to chunk them down a little bit. So I'm pulling out, though. I popped a Poison Explosion. Gonna try and pull out of that because they he'll that would end the game if he could delete Khalid and those Necropolis Knights effectively in that situation, in that surround. So I want to get out of there. That's why I use the Poison Explosion. Meanwhile, the infantry is closed on the other side, routing off a group already, the Kepler Guard. Hopefully I keep them moving, like, because the problem is, it's like, I hate, you got to give them, manually command them to enter battle. So this group of Tomb Guard with Halberds, trading all right. Going to be trading okay with the two groups of Skaven Slave Spears. Yeah, that's going to be good. Tell me the Kepler Guard are moving. Yes, the Kepler Guard are engaged with Skaven Slave Spears, and that's just going to be a matter of time before they are chunked through. He's going to try and bring the Teeth Breakers to bear, but the Tomb Scorpion, don't know what they're engaged with. He's going to be in trouble now. One group of Necropolis Knights was eliminated up there on the hill, but Queen Khalida and the Necropolis Knights are going to make sure that Natty Boobo Sharpshooters are not going to get back into this game. Infantry fight going my way, bringing the archers to bear. Gonna want to get them on the rat ogres as much as possible, but regardless, it's gonna be nice to rain some death on them. Halberds holding out again. So the mainline infantry fight, I can deal with the chaff quite interesting. It's the rat ogres getting into contact with my swords that are gonna be really annoying. The Teeth Breakers are firing at the oh no! Like, they're just sitting there. Oh, that's so painful to watch. Just sitting there taking all that abuse. I should have been using them more surgically. However, the Rattling Guns are now exposed to archery fire, and I am gonna take advantage of that as much as I can. Fire in as much and drop as many models as possible. There's one or two down, yeah. So that's good. That's good. If I can just keep if they're not firing at the archers, that's going to be ideal. The rat ogre's coming in now. These two groups of infantry finished off. I guess I was distracted back here dealing with these rat ogres or whatnot. That's not good. Gonna want to get out of that with the Queen Khalida. But these two groups of infantry here have cleaned things up. It's painful watching in hindsight when you realize what's going on. When you realize you've just been letting that infantry sit there for so long. That's really the key, is to keep everything moving. Oh, this is painful. Like, how long are you going to sit there? That's so hard to watch. Because I'm focused back here with Khalida, again, trying to finish off this Rattling Gun weapons team. I just want to finish that range, and then I think I'm pretty sure I can hold out. Finally, I get this infantry moving to try and help the Kepler Guard, but that's painful because the Kepler Guard just taking so much abuse. Just because of the neglect I put them in by focusing more on my cavalry game. Because cavalry is so micro-intensive, it's really hard to... sometimes it's really hard to keep your eye on other things when you're just going for those surgical precision strikes. But the Necropolis Knights have added great value, eliminating Natty Boobos and the Teeth Breakers. And the Rattling Guns weapons team, I think, have also been eliminated by the archers, which is great. Unless, where are they? Are they anywhere? No, they don't seem to be anywhere. I think they were eliminated. However, it's not going to be looking good for my Necropolis Knights. Hi, Queen Khalida. I think it's a Poison Explosion, and I'm just sitting there waiting for her to pop that so she can make an escape somehow. There it is. Boom! Now get out, 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 Khalida. Get out, because I want to get out of that mess. That's how you should use a Poison Explosion. You're maximizing damage and able to get your Lord out, save your Lord, so she can assassinate Skrulk another day. Gonna get a rear charge. Even with these depleted Necropolis Knights, it's gonna be somewhat effective. Popping a Tomb Strike. Realm of Souls is activated, so I'm gonna be able to summon my Ushapti to deal with this group of dingbats over here. Archers routing off finishing off those rat ogres and the spears, bringing back the Tomb Guard with halberds. We're gonna do decently against the decently against the rat ogres. Do I have Ushabti? Where are the Ushabti coming? Oh no, the skeleton warrior is going to get mulched by those rat ogres. And here come the Ushabti into this Claude to help grind them down. It's the Council Guard here against the Tomb Guard, and so the Council Guard are unbreakable. So they're going to be like kind of the anchor of his army. What's going to be really important for me now is to seize any opportunity to assassinate Skrulk with Khalida as I can. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing in Khalida. Ooh, yeah, and she's already going to be able to chunk Skrulk down. Skrulk's in a very bad place. Spells or not, Khalida's going to be able to finish him off in close quarters combat. The Kepra Guard fighting bravely, but going to be crumbling, even though they've done really well. The Ushabti smashing some rats, but he's bringing in the swarms now. So I'm definitely outnumbered, but it's just a question of bringing down the right units to cause that chain rout, which is why I'm focusing on Skrulk and the rat ogres as much as possible. But he's got a group of summoned plague monks. Oh no! So I don't know how long they last. I think they are summoned, so they will fade eventually, but they are going to be really annoying for driving off my archers. It was a good move by him. Skrulk has broken, but he's going to rout for now. But Khalida's going to get distracted trying to take down the Council Guard. Tomb Guard with halberds. How are they doing? Combat even with the Council Guard. And the Ushabti smashing up the Council Guard a bit as much as can be possible. So the Tomb Guards with halberds holding things out. Skrulk has routed out this way. I'm going to want to get Khalida on him. I'm trying to chase off these Plague Months with Khalida, but it's really hard to know what to do. Cause, like, are they worth it? Because they're just summoned units. In theory, they should be disappearing after a while, because it would be broken if you could just summon in a permanent unit. Miraculously, this group of Skeleton Warriors is alive, but they're getting murked by the Rat Ogres. Oh! Rat Ogre murking by the... so they're not ideally equipped to deal with that. Khalida has noticed Skrulk isolated, so I'm bringing in Khalida to try and finish Skrulk off. Yes, he knows he needs to get back into that clump to protect himself in numbers. Yeah, but that's not going to happen, buddy. He's summoning some more Rat Ogres, but by God, I'm not going to let that happen. So Khalida, if she can just get a couple hits on him. But she's gone after the... So safety. He scurried into safety, but Khalida's going to be focusing on him as much as possible. That's the ideal thing. I need to end that leadership that he's providing. These Skeleton Warriors just holding out. Champs. MVPs today. Look at these. Just still distracting these group of Skaven over here. The Summon Plague Months over here have finally gone away, and I'm going to be able to bring my archers back to bear. Where is Skrulk? Where is Khalida? Good. Khalida is where she should be. Near Skrulk. Hopefully assassinating him as much as possible. Come on. Yeah, okay, that's a hit. If I can kill Skrulk, that's going to be good. Oh, Tomb Guard wavering. This is where it's really dicey. Against the unbreakable Stormberman. Okay, but they still do outnumber the Council Guard. But come on, Khalida. Finish off Skrulk. Finish him off. Wipe him off. Wipe him off. Wipe him off. How's his health? 23. One more hit. One more hit. Come on. Come on. One more hit. What? Yeah, there he goes. He's done. Yeah, so there we go. So that leadership now is gone. And these guys getting some archery fire into the Rat Ogres and etc. there are going to be ideal. Khalida's not going to want to get caught up in that. Draw them away. That's good. And I think that was a Tomb Strike? Is that a Tomb Strike? No Tomb Strike. But yeah, so the rest of his army has fully shattered with out Skrulk's leadership. What's that effect? Routing, yeah, shattered army losses. Yeah, army losses. So there we go. And now it's just a matter of bullying the Council Guard. And then it's my game. So that was a pretty exciting Tomb Kings versus Skaven game. A smaller force wiping out a larger one. And it was all about... It's all about using those skeleton archers to, like, bring those range units out of position. Using the Necropolis Knights, surgical strikes, dealing with those teeth breakers and anti-boobos early on. So then it was a long, drawn-out struggle, but it went my way in the end. Let's check a look at the kill count. Take a look at the kill count here. So who did the most work for me? The Kepra Guard, 78. I feel bad for them. I neglected them. But again, when you can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately. So that's painful, though. Skeleton Warriors... did all right. 89, 69, 67, 61, and 195 on that group of Tomb Guard. Well done, boys. Well done. 103 on the Necropolis Knights. Only 6 on this group of Necropolis Knights, sadly. 40 on the Tomb Scorpion. I mean, all right, but he did his work. He distracted them. The Skeleton Horse Archers didn't get too many kills, but they were really useful in pulling things out of position, pulling troops out of position, and opening up those little openings for my Necropolis Knights to get in and cancel out those that ranged firepower. So the Skaven slaves did 0-0-0-0. Yeah, they're just not terribly effective, especially against anything that's slightly higher tier. But I guess he went for numbers, swarming me. The Council Guard did all right. But what really is important is that he didn't get to rack up those kills with the ranged units. Natty Boobos got taken out really early, sort of the Rattling Gun Weapons teams. Yeah, the Rat Ogres seemed to be its best unit there, mulching those skeleton swordsmen, skeleton warriors. But yeah, like if he'd been able to bring those ranged firepower to bear, could have gone differently. But again, so this is an example of making the right decisions and picking the right targets from the beginning, unlike the last game with that terrible cheese lord. Alright, so this is your boy xBenv0lio for the boys back home. Keep it real.